can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm heading over to my terminal, and I'm going to be typing Jupyter Lab to launch it. So I'm going to Jupyter Lab, and then I type Jupyter Lab on the terminal, and this will automatically open. It's still indexing, so that's why it is wasting time. Okay, it's almost there. Okay, so we are up, and here we are. So this is our local host, and last time we stopped. This is what we did last time. So if you go down here, you can see this. Wow, that has been long. Wow, we have actually spent much time. Okay, so this is what we talked about a bit, but we have done the bar in this way, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, so um I want us to put up a new one. So either I go here and I say duplicate, which it has been duplicated, then I can rename it. So for today we'll be talking about a stack bar chart. So let me rename it to stacked bar chart. So then that will be a new one. Then I will launch it. Then I'll close up this. Then I'll go to star bar chart. So I have to delete this. Deleting this.
Okay. How do you get stack backends?
How do I get it? Okay,
Yes.
I
This
didn't want I did this one here.
yes.
No, I didn't want to just create a new one. I would have just go here and say new here. You get? I would have just go here and say new and create a new one. But what I just did was that I just duplicated this one here, duplicate, because I want to use some of the code here, like to make a modification on the code. So that's just why
Okay, from the new.
yeah, I didn't go to the new. If I want, I can click go here, file, go to new, go to notepad and the notebook and create a new one.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't want to create a new one. You get? So I just want to duplicate
Okay.
because I just want to use part of this code as you understand. Whichever way, the way I just did was I duplicated, which is I right clicked here and go to duplicate here to duplicate it. You get? So I would have also clicked on new notepad, new notebook, sorry. So, but I just wanted to use part of this code here. So
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll still be using our matplotlib. You get? We'll still be using our matplotlib because that's the library for visualization, numpy, numerical Python. So we'll still be using the same thing. You get that now? So whichever will still be using the same thing. Then let's now go down to the next part. So the next part we want to go is, let's say we want to like talk about let me say look for something. So we're going to look think about any data, but on this I'm just going to use any data that comes to my mind. And let's say um, we put two people. Let's use people's name and talk about a weight. So we talk about the black, or let's talk about names of people, or whichever variable you want, or whichever data you want, but we just want to make a kind of stack to see two different things. So in that way, I'm going to use, let me use laptop, different computers. So I'm going to use, first and foremost, let me say data that we're going to use. And in data, um, I'm going now to start defining them. So the first data I want to define is, let's say I want to use HP laptop. And then in HP laptop, and remember, what I want to show you now in HP, I want us to be using a kind of data. So I'm going to be using a new format to place those data. So the format I'm going to be using is, I'm going to make them in such a way that it's going to be a new line. Remember when we're talking about operations, I told you that when you do this and press N, it means you are saying go to the new line. You remember?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so when we're talking about operations, we talk about how we put tab. Also, this is what we are going to be referencing on now. So I am going to be using that same thing or the same method. Then let's say that I go on and say we are having a HP laptop, and let's say that I want to put it, so I'm going to put it in new line. And then I'm also going to now make, let what is the weight. So I want us to put like something, okay, weight or the price. So let's be using a different let's say the prices is what we're going to be
So
using.
what
So
is
yeah, what did you say?
HP?
Yeah, like I'm saying, like I want to use different like a different uh call, like that is HP's like laptop,
Okay, 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 okay.
like a data. I'm just trying to form a data we can use anything. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes.
the HP I'm mentioning is a data. It can also be land cover. It can also be whatever you want. I'm just putting laptop, or we can use country, or we can use, so let's use country. Let's use Nigeria. You get? So, and let's say that the price of let's say food in Nigeria is this. So let's look for something we can use, a price of paying school fees or university or whatever you want. So let us use, let's use what is in Nigeria. So let me use University of Nigeria, UNN. And then the dollar sign, which I've told you that the dollar sign there from our last class is just for is a symbol, not in a built-in operator, but you can use it in various contexts. So for this, we want to use it for string formatting. So let's say University of Nigeria, and we want to say, okay, so how much do they pay for school fees? So let me say fees, and let me assume that in University of Nigeria that we pay about let's say $10, for example. So I'm going to use $10. That was what we pay in University of Nigeria. And then let me close it up. And then I'm going to AOU, and then we still do the same thing. And let's say that how much do we pay fees here? So I'm going to do the same thing and say we pay the school fees there. Let's say that we pay the school fees there $20, and then I close up the
I'm
same
sorry,
thing.
sir.
Okay,
Sir,
okay,
I'm trying to do what you're trying to do here,
okay.
but
What? It's
I
not
don't know.
working.
It's not working.
Okay, what's the problem?
I want to launch the under the terminal like Jupyter Lab.
Okay, and it's not working. What's it saying?
The instruction is building. I don't know. Oops. Maybe I should snap it to you.
You see?
Maybe I should snap it to you. It's much. The instruction is.
Okay,
But
let
I
me
don't
see.
think I can.
Let me see what it is.
Okay. Or maybe it's still running. I don't know because it brought this white. What's it called? This white page.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's still running, but let's wait for it a bit. And if it is not working well, then
This page should redirect you to a Jupyter application. If
okay,
it
yeah.
does not,
If it didn't open, click on that link. That will open.
but it's still running. It's still rolling.
Okay, okay. What I'm saying, if it didn't open, then open it there.
It's still running.
Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
it's up.
Yes. Wow. Okay, I'll just duplicate.
Yeah, so like what I did was like I did duplicates, but you can choose not to do duplicates. You get?
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay, just right click. Duplicate is not okay. Duplicate, I've seen it.
yeah, duplicate is there. It ought to be there, except it is
So it's there
expired.
now. Duplicate. I'll now click on it, Abi.
Yeah, when you
Okay,
when you click on
I've seen.
duplicate, you will see that it
Mm.
will come out.
It brought some like maybe the platform I will be right.
Yeah, so that's what it ought to do.
But I will start. Okay, I will just start writing imports all these ones.
Yeah, the same way I have it. So you can start what I'm doing.
Okay,
Then
I'm starting.
yeah, start by calling the library that we are using, which
Okay,
which is
yes,
in
yes.
which is import
Math.
matplotlib. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then also
Yes, sir.
you call the numpy we are using. Numpy, numerical Python, like we have talked about it. So you call that same library. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, but you
Mm.
understand the reason why we are calling them? Like I told you last time.
Yes,
You, I told you
Matplot is for library. Then the NumPy is a numerical
Python.
Python.
Yeah. And remember what I told you
Yeah.
last time? You can choose to say import numpy as your name. You remember?
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
doesn't matter, like that
Is
plotly is just what they use. So you can use whichever way you want it.
that NumPy is it just to store
It has,
numerical
yeah,
values?
it does everything that's related to the numerical, like numbers, numerical,
Okay.
the way it sounds, numerical Python.
Matplotlib
It's for
is
visualization,
for
like
visualization.
all those things you're seeing, like the way we see them in barh and rest of them. So these are the things that does that particular. Yeah. Is that
Okay.
okay?
Yes, sir.
So I will give you time to complete what I've done.
Mm, let me use oil.
You see?
No, I'm trying to use this one. Okay. that double slash, it represents the next line, right?
Yeah. The end there. I'm trying to put it space by for strings formatting.
Okay. Is equal to very. Hmm? Mm, 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 mm. That slash n is quite different from slash slash.
The what?
The slash n that indicates next line.
It's quite different from.
Like, what's the difference between the first one and the second one?
So this is for formatting string. This is for new line.
Okay, formatting, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this one is new line. You remember when we did operator, when we talk about backspace, tab, how you go to the new line, like those kind of
Mm,
yeah.
mm, 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 Okay, so maybe you should. I'm done with the data. Maybe you should explain
Okay.
to me. So, type it.
Okay. So let me just set title.
So I'm listening, sir. Okay, we are done. Sorry, yes, please.
Okay. So you just like yeah. This is saying cannot unpack adjective X object. Okay. Okay, so like I'm saying, this is just the data we want to visualize the different fees uh, here. This is Unilag, and then this is AOU, and then this is we just want to plot stack bar, and then this is also I'm from Olowo University. Now here we want to make a stack that we have what is below and what is above, and then we just put up a numbers like this, and we want the width to be about 0.5, which I am going to be explaining when I put up the visualization. And on this line we want it to be a subplot lib subplot, so and then the bottom have to be 0, it have to start with trace. And let me put up the code because I have an error which says cannot unpack at third object, and the problem with the subplot tip here. So let me run the same thing here. It is saying that numpy have attribute with 0. So I want to be showing you what it is. So no attribute with zeros, so it's supposed to be zeros. And let me run it again. Here it is saying that counts are not defined. So
Okay.
let me fix the issue. uh, the count, and this ought to be count. What else is the issue again? Then here it is saying what? Let me see what happened. Say the x is not defined. Where did I put x? This is in which line? uh bar x, line 28. I doubt. Okay, sorry. The code I was copying earlier, I did remove it. So let's see what is the problem again. We're having that the fees, the symbol fees is not found. That is in column 1. Where do we have fees?
Okay, is it not that set title? Okay, it's not the one.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where the line is referring to. Let me run that again. It's saying that the fees are parentheses, the expression and level fees chart in line 1. And this is where I have the fees is here.
No, sir, I think I've seen it.
Where?
Sir,
Okay.
last part. It starts with capital.
The
I
last
mean,
part.
I don't know.
Which one?
It's like this act set title. Your fees is in small letters all through. But this one is, I don't know.
The
It
thing
doesn't
is
know.
that this is not a problem because this is a title you want to give. So any title you give there, you can start with small letter or big letter. So, but I think let me critically look at it. It is coming from here. This place, this is where it's referring
Yeah.
to. Yeah, because that's where the fees. This is fee. This is fee. This is fees. So we have here UNN, new line, then the dollar sign, the fees, and
It may be space.
yeah, let me check that
Space before
again.
that.
AOU, like you mean here? Is that a place you mean? We'll talk about
Yes,
the
maybe
yeah.
the space.
We'll talk about this a bit. Because that's not. It's saying. Let me get something. It is saying that
Okay.
the fees symbol, the object fees found one character in line 1. So this is where, okay, let me do something to check where it's coming the data, which you have this, the UNN. Okay, yeah, this is a stack.
Wow.
So, and here we have, like, this is what I was trying to say here. I'm going to use this as you see here, you can write whatever you want. What I'm saying, you can write whatever you want here is that if you look here, this is because it is a title, you can put it whichever way you want to put it. So whether it start with
Yeah.
capital letter or small letter, it does not matter. So let's look at this thing one by one. This is fees in UNN, in AOU, and as well as in Unilag. So you see here we have 70. If you look at the first one, we have 70. Now the 70 here is somewhere here. You can see the blue one, which is above below. Then the above one is, if you say 70, and if you pick up your calculator, where's my phone? If you say 70 plus from what we have here, and you say 82, you are going to have 70 plus 82 should be around 152. So if you look here, this is 140 here, this is 152. So you look here, you see that this is stacking it below and this is stacking it above. So it puts the two numbers up here. Now if you look at this 31 and 37, 31 and 37 about 60, that's 68. Then if you say 58 and 60, this you add of them, you get here. So what I mean here is, you can see here UNN, AOU and Unilag, and this is perfectly positioned stack above and below the way you see it here. So you can see here that we have passed this tray, that is matplotlib here, so which is subplot. So the subplot brings it here for us, and you can also make a kind of positioning. Remember when we say here that we can also pass through this into, let's say, location. You want to put it in the location, and let's say you want to put it in the left part. Then if you run this code again, you should be able to have this. Remember what I said last time, this is in the left, so it have to be either left is not defined, you have to be in the right, in the left. Then this is what is supported here. So what did I type? So it ought to be right. It is already automatically there, so it's ought in the location. I put supposed to put this number of things here. Either I put upper right, best. So the best one here gives, put it in the best place that is approximately. So let me use best, and if you run the code, it put it on the best place. Then if you
Can't
change
see
this
it.
to say upper right, you say
I'm missing.
okay. So this is upper right. Now it is in the upper right. Then if you go to upper left, let's check, and you see it in upper left here. Then you can also make it upper center. So if you run it again, then you can see where it is here, upper center. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you can use this, and you can pass this into it the way it is. So with this, you can create a stack, and the stack make a kind of summation of it, which is exactly what we did. Now let me use a perfect number for UNN to show you what, explain what I'm saying. See the way I make 100, and I made this thing
What's the
100
meaning
as
of
well.
that u is equal to 10.456?
Hmm?
Sir?
You say what?
That under something like UNM, it
Hmm.
says new is equal to 10.45. What's the meaning
That this is
of
what
all
I,
those ones? Like
yeah, this is the that.
20.4.
Okay. Why, how do I insert it here?
Okay. Ah,
This is here.
yes. Like, instead of
Now,
maybe the fees.
yes. Now the this thing here, top is not defined, top is not defined here. I thought you were asking me how, why did I put it down here? So I'm trying to show you, talk about this here, because you see in here, when we are trying to plot, I use here as bottom here. So now it means that, remember we said here new line. So what I'm trying to say is that with this thing syllable here, it goes into the new line here. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
No, sir.
I'm saying that you see the reason why you are labeling is a new line because I said when you get it here, it should have this new line. New line takes it down to the
Okay.
next line.
Okay.
You
Okay. Okay.
remember
I get it.
you like what I was saying. You remember when we were saying that when you get this up like this, when you click on tab, do you see tab now?
Yes.
Now you see all of them is that it just give a tab, like it give four
Yes.
spaces.
Yes. Space.
Yeah, but now because a new line automatically is n here, which gives brings
Okay.
whatever that is
Next
remaining
time.
there to a new line like this.
Okay.
So because it brings whatever that is remaining here in the rest of the distance into new line.
Okay.
It brings whatever that is
Mm,
here into new line here. You see this now.
but where's the dollar sign? The dollar sign is not showing again.
Because it is for strings formatting.
Okay, so it doesn't represent dollar per se like that.
Yes, I probably maybe we will need to go back to operators again. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, because that
Okay.
time when we did that, we were trying to meet up with when you were doing your industrial training. Remember? So we were
Yes.
a bit fast. Maybe we'll go down to it again.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So, but if you see what I did here, you see that I have a new one. Here, I can make something like here, the way it is,
Okay,
and
sorry,
then
sir. That dollar sign, that sign, what's it called? Like,
it is string formatting. You we use
yeah,
that generally.
for
Yeah, we use that to do like basically it is a symbol. It's not a built-in operator, but you can use it for different purposes. Like you can use it for string formatting. So in string formatting, you use it as a placeholder for values. Do you get? You use it as a,
a
before we
placeholder.
yeah, it's used for holder. So
Oh, sir.
this yeah, it's called
Something.
you use it for placeholder. So you use it to hold that particular distance.
Okay.
You can also use it for regular expression. You can also use it for regular expression. You
Sir?
can also you can also use it for regular expression in like in ipython and jupyter like we are using now. You can use it to access like you can use it to access variable in a shell non-spell like when you are working in ipython. So you can also use it like for customized usage, like you can use it as variable name or part of the variable name. So whichever way you want it, you can just use it like for different reasons like I've said now. So you can use that
Okay, okay, sir.
for string formatting.
Okay, sir. Sir, sorry for asking you because I really want, it's not about me doing it. Like, I want to know the reasons, like the meanings of like that. Sir, please go to the code, sir.
Okay.
That array, that array,
Here.
without calling that array, yes, sir. Without calling it, without calling like it won't run, ba.
Yeah, it will not because numpy does not have that attribute like as an array. Because array in numpy, numerical Python, in numpy, like I said, is called numerical Python. Now, for you to now
Okay,
work on that particular sorry for you to work on it now let's talk about numpy. Like numpy is a library with arrays and mathematical operation in python. So it is
okay,
for arrays. Now you know that there are different ways we can use it, but basically it have a few features, but it is multi-dimensional. So it is
Okay.
multi-dimensional, so it supports a lot of data. So it is used for vectorized operation. It's also used for mathematical function. You can integrate it in designing a lot of things like the way we are using now in the way we are using now in Matplotlib. But the thing is this array itself, it have a basic function like array creation. Then array it creates lists, like it create array from list, like it's tuple and then list. Then you use it for
Okay.
indexing. So and what it means is that for shape dimension, it won't be able to work because it's just like you bringing up matrix. So if you remove that, it will never work because this is a built-in function. And remember, anytime you see, like we're writing a code and you see this, there are different colors here. This is a color here that is built in. Look at the blue, 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 blue. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. It is a built-in for that
Okay.
particular library. So if it won't work without that, now let me remove this 5 here and run the code again. Now because it is dimensional, you can see here that we say
Nice.
it is not in the same shape, it's not matching. What actually
Okay.
make that happen? Because of the array here. So it checks here, it is not in the same dimension, and that is why it is not matching. So if I put up this now, this is 1 2 3, it is now matching perfectly. Then I can run the code and you can have this here.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you see it here now, so it is now working.
Okay.
So now that is this, it comes in like the subplot. If you see the first error that I noticed is that I put this in a subplot and I run the same code now. So it's now telling me that it is not working because there is no cannot unpack this because I'm using it is supposed to be subplot, not subplot here.
Which
You get
one?
the point?
Okay.
This, yeah, it's supposed to
Okay,
be sub,
subplot.
yeah, it's supposed to be subplots. So it means that anytime you want to run activities that have to do with stack, so you have to follow this way, the way it is, so you will be able to pass this into it. Now, what if I say something like, let's do if you comment this code and then from here and then to here and then we run this same code again. So I wanted to make a kind of this, but we have already labeled it, so it is not a coding this. But what I'm saying is, if, for example, you see the way I put up this here, so and I use this here, so it is as long as I put up this up here, like I keep on putting new line like this, then whatever I put will keep on coming down like this, like this. So you can see here, I put up new line and put Enugu. I can also decide to put up again and put Ogun or Ekiti. I can put light and put Lagos. So this will come in here as long as I am using uh, new line.
Mm.
You get that now?
You have subplot, like for what? Subplot.
The subplot.
Okay.
Now the
Yes.
subplot here, like I told you, you can always go to, if you're in Python, you can go to implementation. But whatever you want to get, if you click on this is subplot, you can click on this and you go to the help, which is going to give you like uh, help on what you are looking at. Look at it here. Yeah, if you just click on it and you can right click, you can go to control I. Anyone you click here, you go to it. So what it means is that assuming you are in here and then you want to know what is this, so if you press control I, it's supposed to open a this thing for you to go to the help section where you will know how do you use those kind of this thing. So for this, if you go to here, help here, Plotly, so you can see how you can put up this. So it can come in like a strings, and then you can convert The documentation says convert strings number to float input if possible. The type is float. So with this, you can see this is for FIG. So you can see here that it gives you every information you want to know about this. So how you
Control
can,
I.
you say?
I just press control. I said I will just highlight it and press Control I.
Yes, if you're in Python here, for example, if you go to bar, right click on the bar and go to here and go to implementation, then you will see the way it is written, the documentation of this. What can you pass into it? Like for example, the bar, you can go put
Okay.
a line and put it center or edge. For height here, you can see a line here. These are keywords you can pass into it. You can see here, center. You can see here, what about width? You can put width here. I like it have to be a float and array. What about height? It have to be array like. What about bottom? It have to be array like. So these are way you can see what you pass into code, because sometimes you have a lot of things to pass to, and but you don't know how to get it done. So the best way to get it done is by going to this and then get to understand what you need to put up there. Like the way I put legend here. Now, I don't know, like the way I was trying to
Okay.
put up legend here. And if I go to the implementation here, for example, you see now legend can, this is what legend can handle. If you put legend on, it comes automatic. You can put handle and labels. Now in the labels,
Okay.
you
Label.
see, yeah, you see that here I put location. You see the way I put location. If I want to see more about the
Mm.
location, I will have to look for what I can pass into it and argument I can pass into it. So that is going to give me whatever I want as related to this. So with this, I can use that to plot whatever I want to plot and whichever way I want to show it. Now, if you
Okay.
look here, you see upper center.
You are using
Yeah, I'm using legend.
axis, Abby. It means axis.
Yeah, this is
No,
axis.
AX.
Yes.
Okay, axis. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now look at this location here.
Okay.
This is the documentation of the location here. You see here that I have location. This is the strings you can pass into it
Mm,
is upper right, lower left, lower right,
yeah.
the place corresponding to the axis. Then the strings you can pass is upper center, lower left, center right. You can see now. Another thing you can pass it is center. Another thing you can pass it is best. The best place it at the right direction
Oh.
among the nine. Now, there are nine of them here, 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 that is up.
Mm,
There are nine of them, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are positions you can place the your legend. But among nine of them, best will put it at the best location among the nine of them.
the best.
The location different. Yeah. So what I'm saying is you need to understand this. You can see the documentation here. Now another thing you can pass is if you don't want to pass a string into it, you can pass, you see here, I can pass 0 into it. Let me show what I'm saying. Among the nine of them, I can decide to
Yes.
pass 0 into it. 0 means best. If I run it, it will place it at the
Uh,
best
yeah.
location for me. Based on the documentation, how do I know?
Mm,
I get to know it based on the documentation here. If I want to put it in upper right, I will pass 1 into it here. And I run it again. You can see now it is here, which is, if you look at the documentation here, is that this is upper right. If I want to put it at upper center, right? Or
upper
let me put it at upper center. Let me put it at lower right. Lower right is 4. I can pass 4 here, and you can see where it's going to be. Do you see it here? So this is
mm,
what helps you do that. When you read the documentation, you will be able to understand this. So you can see how I open it up and how I showed you in Python. So this is what it can hold. So this is, sometimes you just need to look at it, study it very well to actually see what you want to craft or what you want to do. Is that okay?
yes, sir. Another thing, sir.
Okay.
For example, if it's if we are doing image classification. If this stack charts, abi stack bar charts, if it's
Yeah,
for image classification, land use land cover,
yeah.
like those blue, yellow, you were trying to classify it. What does it stand for? Like,
Okay, if like the way we okay,
is
we will do that now in the next
it
thing
that
we want
like
to do. Is that okay?
that?
I said we will do that in the next
That what
one
did you say?
we want to do. You know, the next thing we are going to do, I thought we are going to do category.
Okay.
Yeah, so when let's do when we do category, then we will put those colors like the way you're expecting it to be, where we have this one as this one as this, and that will be the best way.
Okay.
You get what I'm
Honest.
saying?
Okay.
Yeah, so because this
No, like what I'm saying is that like the way this one is now,
okay, the
UNN
mm-hmm.
from 0 to 100, like that way I
Okay,
don't
let,
understand that.
let you can assume that, for example, you are trying to check the land cover. Let me use land cover as example, where you have the classes of land cover. Let's say that the total percentage is 300. Let me use 300.
Okay,
Now, let me put
okay,
where I put UNN as build up. Then let me put
okay,
where I put AOU as water body. And let me put here as vegetation.
okay,
Now, let me assume that the total area of this thing is, let me assume it is 300. Now, let me say that the built up area takes 150 this year, and then by the next year, it takes 180. Now, from here, 150, let's split water into 50, right? And let's make vegetation 100, for example. Now total is 300. Now let us make here 180, and let's make water body 20, and let's make this 100. Now you see all of them is 300. So if I run the same thing here, you will see that this is going to give us 300. No, what's happening? So this is 150. Is it? Yeah, is at 150. Now this is 100 again. If you add 100, this is 150, 180. Now 150 plus 180 is going to be 330. That's why you have it here. Now on the second phase, water body reduces. You see, because
sir.
it moved in the second one, water body was 50 and now it is 30. You get it here.
Okay,
Now on the third phase,
okay,
this is 100 and this is 100, nothing changed, and you still get it here. That's why I have built up water and vegetation on the same way.
okay.
Did you get what I'm saying now?
Mm,
Okay. Okay, so let us do stack which we can use water, land cover, land use in the stack. So I'm still going to use this code here, which is matplotlib. Now remember, since we have run matplotlib on this code, I might not choose to use matplotlib again
mm,
because we have used it before. Do you get? So
okay.
for
Mm,
that, I might not want to use it, but let me go ahead and say class. And the class I'm going to use now, I'm going to put up a class of here because I want to use class. So I'm going to put a class of, let's start with built up. Then let's also go into built up. Let's go into water body, water like what we just used now. So
mm,
I'm going to use water, and then let me use also vegetation, for
mm,
example. Now when we have these two things, now let us define the class. So let's go into year. Now let's assume that the year we are going to use, because it is year and value, because year 2000 might have different thing again. So what we are going to do is that in this case, in this context, let's say that the year, and we put them in dictionary. Now the dictionary we are putting it is because we have values as related to that year. So I'm going to use y 2000. The first thing I'm going to create is the dictionary of year 2000. Is that okay? So, and in
Okay.
the year 2000, we are going to put them into what do we have in land use. So let me copy this code here, as we have already defined it here. Sorry. So I'm going to copy this as we have already done here. And this is what it is within those year. It is the first year, so I'm going to close it up, and then I will now go to the year 2000. So I'll copy this. Let's assume we're analyzing 2000, 2010, and 2020. So let's change here to 210, and let's change here to 220. Then here there is also a variation. So let's say that the build-up move to 160. That means this one will move to 40, and this one will remain in 100. Then in this year it moves to 180. Then this one now will move to 10, and then this one now will move to 110. I think, yeah, this will move to 110 here. And then in here we can now close up the dictionary here. And let's now start making iterations. So I assume that this is what we have here as the land cover land use we have so far. So in this way, so we have these changes as per area of land cover land use. You get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let's now pass it. So let's now do np. So I'm going to now use x and do numpy, then arrange this based on the length. So I'm
I
going to
will.
use arrange. I'm going to arrange it based on the length, which, remember that the L is length. So I'm going to arrange it based on the length of the
Mm.
class. Which class? The classes of land use land cover that we have. So I'm going to make the arrangement based on the class we have. So we have 1 to 3. That is what I'm going to arrange. Now after that, how do I want the width to be? So I want to pass the width into the number I want. So I want to make it maybe 0.5. That gives me the width of the bar. Then now, because of this, I want to introduce multiplier. And the multiplier, I am going to bring multiplier. I'm going to bring, I don't want it to multiply it with anything first. I will explain this to you in the next line of code. So now let us plot it, and then in plotting it, let's put it in the axis, and then we are going to say plt dot subplot. Then in the subplot, now let us pass the different lay. Let's now talk about the layout. How do we want it to be? Now we can use different kind of layout, like you see here. Subplot, sorry. So let us use, I will, like I said before, if you go to documentation, we can use different one we want to use, but let us use this in this context now. So constraint, that's what we are going to be using on this one. Then, like I said, if you want to know more about the layout, you can always go to the I questioning here, and then you should be able to see different way the layout, what you can pass into it, like I said earlier, like the way I do before. So you can always know which of them is the best to use, how do you want to use it, and when do you need to use it. So I'm going to use this on the layout. And then the next thing I can do is inside here, let's begin for the attribute. Then in the attributes, then let's pass in the what are the different measurements, or how do we get it. So we can call the measurements inside here, so, or the area that we have. So if we say that we call in the measurements, so the measurement we have in all of them. So where do we have them? In the year which we have defined here. All different measurement, like all this in the year which we have defined here. We have defined here dot the items inside there, then you pass it into it, and then you can now start saying, now how do you want it to be. Let's start how with the offset, how we want to offset it. Now it have to be with the width. For example, with the width, multiply the multiplier, which is what we have here. Then in this way, you can also talk about the react. How do you want it to be looking at? You can also say that it is ax, so you can now say I want it to be bar, because remember b is bar. Then we have this np based on the length. We can also pass it that it should be plus the offset which we have talked about, also with the measurement which we have here. So it's this thing is like a kind of mathematics. And then we also want to bring in the width which we define here, the width of 0 point, I think we're using 0.5. And then we can also label it. So let us label it. We are going to label it by the different attributes which we have there. So I'm going to pass the attribute label into it. Now when this is done, you can also say axis.bar. Then in the bar, you can label the bar. So let's label the axis. Then what are we labeling it? Let's label it with what we have here. Everything we have in here. So we put up what we have there. This is what we are going to label. And if we want to put padding, we put, but for me, I think it is nice we put padding. We pad it, or we can remove it. Yeah. So if we pad, we can pad, we put it up here. The padding have to be into 3. It have to go into 3. Then we now bring in the multiplier. That means at every instance here, sorry, so the multiplier we're bringing here should be added into 1 by each of them. Then we can decide to put up some things again. But if you don't want to put it up that way, you can always say here eld.show, and when you run this, you should be able to wait and see what we have here. So you can see here that we have this 150, 160, 180. Here we have 150, 140, 10. Here we have 10, 10 here. So now the size is big because we are using 0 0.5. So let's say 0 0.2, and let's run this again to see what we have. Then you can see now that it have given space to both of them. Is that okay?
Yes.
It's not okay.
Okay.
The way you're
It
sounding.
is okay. This one is like no. I'm looking at the mic. Okay.
So
This
this
one is
is,
like histogram, Abi.
yeah, but this is trying to show you this is the changes in built up area. This is the changes in water body. This is the changes in vegetation. You get what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so
So that other part, so trying to stack everything together
yeah, they are putting
into
it,
one.
yeah, it is showing you this 2000, it was 150 in 2000. And okay, what, okay, let's see, let's make something, let's make something clear now. Maybe then you will understand what I'm saying. So hold on a bit, let's do something like this so that we define it. Now let's go into making something like ax dot set, let's say y label. Okay, I think that will make you get what I'm saying. So let's say y label, for example, and let's say in the y here, we want to label it with what? Uh, yeah, that is value of land use. So let's say area, because that's what it means. Area, let's say that area that is in hectare in this way. So if you run this now, what will you have? You are going to have the area here in hectare. Then let also label it. Let's put the title. Maybe that will also help. So we can say ax.title.
Set title.
Set title.
Set
How do you write title again? Title. So we say, let's put it land cover, land.
I thought it would be X label.
No, I'm talking a title. We will do X label
Oh.
from year
Okay,
2000.
okay, okay.
Okay, let's say land use label changes of year 2000, 2010, and 2020, for example. So if we run this, we automatically have the title here on top of it. Now I think this will help us and putting it up that way. Now what else do we need to do again? So we can also put the while label. So let's copy this and go in here, paste it, and change this from y label to x label here. And then we run the same code again. And you see here we have area here, but what do we want to set up here? Because we want to talk about it in aspect of we want to talk about the expert in the aspect of us putting the name of it. So what we can do is that we can put x, like we can pass another parameter which will help us identify the land cover we have there. So in that way, let's say x tick at this place you have here. So let's pass something like x tick here. Then we are going to say in here, instead of us passing the area, now remember we define x here. There's a place we define x, arrange the length of the class. So what we're going to do is that we are going to pass x into it, and we say plus the width and the class. Now remember we have defined this thing before. Now this will show us built up area, water, and vegetation. You get the point now.
Mhm.
Hmm?
Yes, yes.
You know
Yes.
what is x? The x is this thing you have defined. NP arrange the class. But you say now give me the x, then you add up the width, then you also add up the classes, which is what we have here. So automatically it beats you here. Let me put this build up area like in calculator, and then put water bodies in this built up
Mm.
area, or we can say bare soil. You can make it 5 or whatever it is. So if you run the same code again, you see that these have changed to built up area, water, vegetation. So this is the changes that happen here. Remember you say bah. Remember what happened if you put h here? What will happen?
Hmm. Which one?
I put h in bah here. What will happen here?
Bar.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm, I don't know.
So that means you will need to visit the other code we did on 28 days ago. You remember? Because I explained that.
Mm,
Yes, I told you what
but
happens when you put H. We did that. Did you see it?
okay.
Did you remember? Or should I show you?
It turned it. Okay. I didn't. Okay. Y X.
You see what happened now?
Okay. Okay.
So what did I just do? When after doing this, what I just did was that I just changed this place to be
The
X,
extra.
Y, so that you have vegetation,
Mm,
you have waterway, and you have treetop area.
mm.
But there is a problem. Do you know the problem?
Okay. What's the
Let me return this back here so that I will show you what I'm saying. Now, if you look here, sorry, I need to remove the bar only. Now, the thing is that if you look here, this 120 is touching this line. You can see.
mm,
Now, assuming that I don't
mm-hmm.
want it to touch, I want to make it limit because it's touching. I want it to stop at 200. We can introduce another this thing, which will be that I want it to limit it to. So in that way, I'm going to say as dot set, sorry, set underscore y limit, that which is lim, and I can say 0 comma 200. Now, what it means is that I'm going to have the range of 200 and 0. What if I say I want it to be from 20? What will happen? It will now cut it from 20 here. You see here?
Mm,
But the water will
mm,
not, because
mm.
the water started at 10.
It's 10.
So,
Okay.
this is why it cut it off. Okay, let's make it 9. You will see, if we say start from 9, you automatically see that there will be a small dot for waterway. Small, a bit. 10,
Oh, that's cool.
because I made this started at 0. So now, but I still want to maintain it. Let us start with 0 to 200. Now this will give you the range how you want to limit. This is what we call X lim. That's Y limits. Why do you limit Y? Because the Y is on horizontal. There will be another variable I will plot in. I will say limit it in the Y axis. X axis, sorry. It goes in there. But let us make a legend now. I think this is clear, right?
It is clear though, but the I'm trying to like this histogram now. For this, the way you wrote the code is quite different from that stack
Yes.
was it or
Yeah,
stack
it
but
yeah, it is different because stack is
I think this
stacking
is
on each
longer.
other. This is stacking on each other. But this is showing the changes that happen over time. You don't
Mm,
get what I'm saying?
I need to study.
Okay, okay
Yes, sir.
let us
And I
pass
think this. I think that.
let us pass the legend. We discussed that. Can we? Let's pass the
Okay.
legend. Let's
Okay.
talk about the legend. Then we'll discuss
Yeah.
that.
Best comma. Mm,
We have this here.
what's this end?
That is number of columns is 2. If I want to make number of column to be
One.
1, then if I run it again,
Mm,
it is going to be 1. You see it here? If I want
okay.
it to be 3, I will change it to 3 and I run the same thing. You see it here to 1 to 1 to year 1 year, so that it will show you the color. This is for year 2000, year 2010, year 220. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so hmm so you see here, I wanted to show you something a bit. This is plot. You see,
So,
it's plotting it up like this. Even though there is issues, this is plot. Now, this cannot work because this is a bar chart, so it can't work. Won't- It will only get showed as is. So if you go to line scatter, which is
this one.
scatter,
No.
So it's not going to work up like this because it is scatter. There's no attribute like this. So the best way is either you are using bar or bar. So I'm going to use bar here, and then I'm going to copy the code or click on this to duplicate the code here, create a duplicate of this cell below which I've created. Then I will change this now to bar, to BAH, and then I will change this. If I run this, you have it stack up like this. And see what is happening here.
Mm-mm.
It's not making that sense.
It's not showing.
So yeah, so what will I do
Mm.
here? Remember, the reason is because I defined this. If I comment this code now, it is going to show better here, but you can see the way it is
Okay.
written up here. So but I need to
But that
change
one,
this to X and change this to Y, and if I run it, this comes in this format. Now if I want to limit, now this is where I want to come in. This is where you have 180 touching the line, but I want to make it 200. Now I will now uncomment this and say set this thing to X limit, and then I'll run it now, and you see that it is falling in between 0 to 200.
okay.
Now here in this way I can make this column to be 1. You can see now. So this is the way you can make it. You can have other variables. For example, you
Mm.
see here that we have vegetation. Let's say you have bare soil. You can add bare soil here. If you add bare, introduce bare soil here, sorry, you, that means you need to bring another variable here that will have bare soil as, let's
But
say, 50, right? Another variable
okay.
40, and this will move to 110, and then another variable, let's say 45, and this will move to, if it is 45, this will move to 115, right? Am I right? Yeah. So now
Okay.
if, since you pass 4 argument here now, so if you run the code, it says bare soil, says on, something is wrong. So let's go and fix it because I did not put this here. So let me close this here, and that's perfect. And then if I run the same code again, 2. So we have 4 variable here. You can see here that we have bare soil, vegetation, water, and built up area. Is that okay?
Hmm. Okay, sir.
This one you're saying, what's the problem?
No, I'm just seeing different things. Yes, it's okay.
Okay,
I
so
have to study it.
yeah, now this is the good thing about code, like what we are saying. You see the way you design this? I generally want to plot something like this,
Mm.
and then you have for 2000, and let me say you have a data, and somebody give you a data that you want you to plot this thing for him. You finish, somebody finish land cover,
Mm.
there is a very good
Mm.
flexibility you are going to do. Let's say the person get this in 2005. What you just need to come here is to change in 25, 210, 220. You can even add another one here. Let me copy here. Let me put 2015 here. So it is simple and
Mm.
easy. So I'm going to make 2015 here, and I'm going to change this one to, let's say, 200, for example. No, let's make it 170, 170, and then let me add here 20, for example. Now if you run this code now automatically, you see that
This
this
one is
code
250. It's
is
not 2015. There's a mistake. There's a mistake in that year.
okay. Oh yes, there is so much here. So you see now that, you see here automatically I just added one parameter and run it again, this has been plotted. I don't know, you get what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
It is easy to execute, very
Hmm.
fast, and you just need to change one thing or two things, and that is done.
Okay, sir.
So this is easy,
Thank you.
and the way it is, you can see now land cover land use. Automatically, I am having a result faster and quick than somebody trying to start this thing afresh. What is the advantage? We have the ability of you having reusability of the code. So here, because it is clustered here, I can decide to change this and I put it to, and then when I put it to, I run the same code again, and I have the result in two ways, as you can see here.
Sir, but on norms, like, so, okay, on the norms, do we used to have like figures for all this built up area? Okay, is it under attribute data we are going to get them?
Yes, we have these figures under land use. Let me um let me say this. If you go to ArcGIS after doing a classification,
Mm-hmm.
do you remember the classification we did?
The supervised and non-supervised
Yes. Do you
classification.
remember any of the supervised and non-supervised? What was, did you have an area?
Yes.
You have an area.
Mm-hmm.
Now those area represent these numbers I use here. And that is
Area.
why yes, that's why I say area in hectare.
You don't. You don't. I don't know.
You don't know. I know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, set grid. That's good. Oh, 6 minutes. Good. Set grid. Mm-hmm. Guilty grid. True. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Divisible. Germany. Column. Colonizer. And yes. Active. Put. User. Okay.
So, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you look here, what I'm actually doing now, I'm just getting it from the documentation. You can see here grid
Mm.
line style. I can say how the line style is going to look as you see here. So I'm just getting it from the documentation. I don't need to, so I'm just getting it from
Okay.
the document. I don't need to cram it. Line width, I can also pass line width here,
Mm.
and then I can say make it blue.
Mm.
So if you look at this now, if
Mm.
I run the same code, you see that it is going to be looking different. So there's something I didn't get right, which is dot. So it's supposed to be dot or slash slash. So this one is supposed to be dot like this. So I'm getting it from the documentation, and you see that it is working. So it says it's supposed to be dot one. The value is supposed to pass the is dash or solid. So if I say pass it through dash, line style dash. So I'm just getting through the documentation. There's something I'm not getting right. Okay, I'll fix it up. So but it's showing, but it is not passing this aspect of the keyword that I want, line style both hooch. So what I'm saying is that you can pass what you want in here the same way I'm passing this. You can see that this is red. So let me take off this, and then how do I get it? Because I'm reading it from the documentation, so you can see the red color. I want it in the y-axis. So if I want it in both, I can remove this or write it both, or I can remove like this, and then I'll run the same code again, and you see now that it is coming in big color like this. So if I change the width, yeah, if I change the width,
How?
you get it now.
No, sir.
I'm saying that this area you see here for year 2000 is the same thing as the area here you are seeing here.
Okay.
Did you understand what I
You
mean?
did something now. It was count before.
Yeah, but
It
I
was
can,
count before.
yeah, because it is in this. Remember when we do land cover, it is in count. So I have to convert this count to polygon, which gives me the area. I was just talking about the different. This is a count. When you finish this, you open it up, you will see a count like this. Okay?
Hello,
Did
sir.
you, did you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, when you have a count like this, it is my
Mm.
responsibility to make a conversion from the raster to polygon so that I can get the area.
Okay.
Go to the land cover you do. I'm going to give you that assignment now. Go to the land cover you did of 2014 and 2024. Remember? Add to polygon. Use the area for 2024 and 2014 to plot this for me. Then I'm going to use a class here. I'm
It's
going to make
only
a multi-polygon here. Then I'm going to run it. So what I want you to do is use the same, so you will wait for it until it finish running. Use that area to plot exactly this type of thing.
but it's only 2014 I did. So
Then you that means you
it's
have
the
to do.
land use of 2014 I did.
You told me you want to do 2019 and 2024. That's what you
Hello,
told me.
sir.
And then you said you downloaded the data of
Eh,
the two.
20, that 2019, sir.
You said you want to
I
do
did
20.
2019, but the 2024,
What happened to
sir.
2024?
Hello.
Hello.
I I did 20, yes, can you hear me, sir? I did 2019, but the 2024, I don't like the something is not displaying.
What is
I
not
don't know,
displaying?
but I did 2019.
What is not displaying?
So you are like, maybe you will check the, like, I was trying to classify it. So the classification, everything was not doing. But for the 2019, everything worked perfectly fine. So I don't know, maybe there's a problem with the what's it called, data I downloaded or something. The last at
you said
Yeah,
that
but I did for 2019.
you said that 2019 is okay.
Yeah.
2019 is okay.
Yes,
Then
everything.
then use
Yes, sir.
2014 and 2019 to do that same thing for me.
I'm here 2014. You know, it's just 2 years you asked me to. It's just 2 years. Like, sorry, two something, like 2019 and 2024. So now I think I will have to do 2014 again by myself. I will have to download the last certain day.
Yeah, I want you to do that
Then
so that you
I'll
can look.
now.
Look at what I did now. It is completed. If you open that input information, you will see the area. So copy this area, replace water body with the same variable we are using here. These variables we are using here. Now water body like this, and like this. Now go to year 2014. You copy this area you see here.
Okay.
Area for water body. Put it first. Area. I think